Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. Can you tell it's going to be a busy day here? We are going to harvest all of our potatoes, our onions, and our carrots. I've been waiting for it to dry out a bit because you've probably heard me mention it has been very wet this year. But we've had, I think today is the fourth day that it's been dry. And we have like 60% chance of rain the next 2 days. So it's time to get these things out of the ground, get them in the house. I think I'm going to try and put my onions on my front porch. My neighbors might not like that so much, but we'll see. But I spotted something just a moment ago as I was setting the camera up where you guys are, and I need to deal with it. And I thought you all might like to see it too. Oh, it's not too bad. All I could see was a big, long yellow thing, and I thought, oh, I missed that one. But this is going to be a really nice one, perfectly edible size. It will help getting the carrots and onions out. I'll have a better view of the squash plants. So I'm excited to have this. Thought we could start with potatoes. This is the smallest harvest, I think. Get a win under our belts. I'm a little overwhelmed by all the things I need to harvest today. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it always is so exciting. I'm not 100% sure how much we're going to end up with. There'll be a lot of food to put up. Some of the carrots will go into some canning recipes that I have looked up that I'm really excited to try. I think most of them are probably going to get dealt with that way. I have a carrot cake recipe that I want to try that uses a paleo flour blend. And what else? One of my canning books has this really interesting carrot butter recipe. It's savory, and they actually have you mix it with avocado, put it in a shrimp taco, which I thought was kind of interesting. So we're going to try that. What else? Oh, I just saw another one. You guys, it's such a treasure hunt. I love it so much. I think the potatoes are largely just going to be for fresh eating. This isn't some huge harvest, but they are these little baby potatoes that we love. We kind of weren't sure what to expect growing the baby potatoes, whether they would be baby potatoes when we harvested them or if they would grow into bigger potatoes. We watched a different channel when they were harvesting potatoes, and they talked about planting little ones, and they ended up with some larger potatoes, but they were a larger variety. I don't know how that works with these because I don't actually know what the variety is. I do think I might like to plant some bigger potatoes in the future. I understand that you can grow fall potatoes here, and so that is something I am considering giving a try. Ooh, more potatoes. Some of my plants have died back so much that it's kind of hard to tell they're potato plants. I'm interested to see how the potatoes from this plant are that I just pulled out, because I got some big grass with some pretty substantial roots, and I think, no, there's decent little potatoes here. I thought maybe the grass would have competed too much, but they're beautiful. I also don't know, because we've had this incredibly wet spring, how that affects things. If you guys live in a place that is typically wet when you plant potatoes, you'll have to tell me if that's better or worse for them, because I really don't know, but I'm happy with my harvest I'm getting. But I can't remember the last time I had to water my garden besides fresh starts, and that is very unusual here. This is one of the bigger ones I've harvested. Oh, and this one. I feel a bit like a kid in a candy shop. This is just so exciting. Some of these tiny little ones crack me up. They're all food that we can eat. Some of these plants are kind of obviously smaller than others. I'm guessing it's just based on how small the seed potato was I planted. Ooh. If you guys are expert potato growers, it wouldn't take a whole lot more to be more knowledgeable than me. So let me know what you think, why some plants produce little tiny ones and others. I mean, these are hilarious. Look at this little guy. Look at this. I've got potatoes in there with the chive roots. So I will know in future. My chives spread a lot come warm weather. And I need to not plant the potatoes so close. Y'all, I just realized my microphone was missing and I thought, oh no, it's probably buried in this soil. Ooh, there's another potato. There's more. Back with the gloves. I thought I would grab the rake because I just keep finding more as they dig through. And that was clearly a good call. Because here's more. This might be the biggest one I've had right here. So I'm pretty excited, you guys. We got these two really lovely baskets of potatoes today. And if you weren't here with me a few videos ago, we harvested 3 plants and got about 2 pounds off of those. 6.22 pounds. That's nice, I think. Let's see what our other one says. That is a little bit shocking. 6.22 pounds. I did move potatoes around to try and make the buckets be equally filled, but I didn't expect to get exactly on the money. But so over 12 pounds, almost 12 and a half pounds of potatoes, plus the 2 the other day. So 14 and a half pounds of potatoes. And I started with 15 potatoes, so almost a pound per plant. I don't know if that's a good number or not, but I'm pretty excited about it. So I would call this a win for my first time growing potatoes ever. Now it's time to move on to harvesting onions and carrots. Before we get to the harvesting, I have to show you guys this zinnia. It has just gotten more and more beautiful as it matures. The middle has gotten more pink and it's just so lovely. There's another one that has opened up and it looks like the middle is a bit pink too. I'm so excited about these. I may take these off the plants to help the plants bush out, and I think I might have enough zinnias throughout the garden for my first bouquet of the year. Y'all, I just saw my nose. I'm sorry that I'm really dirty, but I am harvesting root vegetables. But I think once I'm done harvesting all of the veggies, I might come out here and pick these flowers. It'll help the plants bush out and stay shorter and more bushy and prolific as far as flowers are concerned. Plus, I love a good bouquet in the house, so it's a win for me and the plants. I've been thinking through how I'm going to do this, and I think I'm going to go through and pick all of the carrots from in between the onion rows and then come back and harvest the onions. There will be some serious weeding that needs to be done, but we'll get to that later, I think. So I'm trying to decide Which container? Both of these are well, the carrots I'm for sure going to want to rinse off before I take in. And so I'm thinking maybe this basket would be a good option because the bottom has holes as well. And so I can rinse them off just in the basket. We're going to have so many carrots today, you guys. I think I'm just going to snip the greens off. And for now, I'm just going to lay them down, but I think I may lay them back in the beds like a green mulch. I turned a time lapse on and you guys can see here, I am just getting in here between the weeds and the onions, finding my rows of carrots and pulling them all out. You can see our harvest here. It's pretty nice. I do want to mention I lost my microphone and it's just laying in the garden somewhere and the audio is pretty bad from this point forward. You guys, I made it through my white onions and to be honest, they were mostly pretty fat. I think more than half of them had bolted. They just weren't super healthy. But I got into my red onions and I've already picked a few that are really nice size. Well, you guys, I harvested the rest of the onions. My back is starting to hurt, and I actually hurt my back pretty badly a couple of weeks ago, and it took several days to get over. So I'm listening to my body. It says no more, so I quit with the weeding. Here, I did get it largely weeded. But down here, I just got between all the weeds and pulled the onions out. We'll get to it on another day. But I want to show you the onions. So we've got this nice big tub of onions. If you happen to watch other videos, then you'll know I came out here and harvested about 2 pounds to make some onion jam the other day. So we did have more onions than this, and we've been coming out and picking and putting salads and dinner and things like that. So I'm pretty happy with my harvest. The onions could be bigger, but I know that's my fault for letting it become this weedy mess that it is. It is what it is. I am grateful for whatever food comes out of this garden. It's things we don't have to go to the store and buy. Well, you guys, you can see our harvest here. I set it all up real nicely, and then I realized we haven't actually weighed it. And so we're going to weigh stuff. Grabbed a bath scale. We'll see if I can actually do this on this bath scale. Have the carrots where I can actually see it. 13.6 pounds. That's kind of nice. 13.6 pounds of carrots. Let's weigh the onions. 22.4. This basket itself is pretty light. That tote may weigh like a pound. So we need to consider that for our poundage, that there's a little bit that is actually the containers. Well, you guys, here we have it. My root veggie harvest, my one squash, and my flowers. I feel like flowers have to count somewhere because I enjoy having them in the house so much. But we ended up with 12.5 pounds of potatoes there. Plus I harvested that 2 pounds a couple of days ago. We have 22.4 pounds of onions and 13 pounds of carrots. So I'm very excited about this harvest. It's pretty great for a backyard, I think. So I have quite a few canning projects that I'm looking forward to doing with some of these things. I have like 3 that I'm going to try with the carrots, all new to me, but I thought you guys might like to come along. So I hope you're up for it. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be pulling so much food out of the garden. So thanks for hanging out with me today and for all the days you guys are here. I really appreciate it when you stop by and watch my videos and comment. I really appreciate you guys. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.